We have two sides, the north and the south. We're going to stay on the north side. The south side is a product of a merger between Degussa and Hull's back in 1999. So now we're one facility. The facility is laid out in blocks. Each block has a identifying letter and number. We're coming up on our inventory area, shipping and receiving. And then the technical building, there's offices upstairs. And then this is our maintenance shop here, where we do pump repairs, equipment repairs. To the right is the safety center, emergency response, the emergency vehicles as far as responding to a plant emergency, and they are trained continuously throughout the year to respond to emergencies. And then straight ahead we have one of our engineering groups. They provide engineering services for the North American region. Plant expansions, new investments, capital improvement. And then this is just the east side of the maintenance area. Okay, the first plant we're coming up on is the hydrogen peroxide plant to the left and also to the right. Hydrogen peroxide is used in a lot of industrial uses. It's a bleaching agent in the pulp and paper industry. We started this plant up in the mid-'80s, and the market potential was growing every year. So a couple of years later, we built another hydrogen peroxide plant with the same nameplate capacity. So we doubled our capacity within 3 or 4 years. And then this next facility here is, we call it TBHP. It has a chemical name that is hard for me to remember, but it's just a small facility, small operation that we invested here about 3 or 4 years ago. And it's run in conjunction with the hydrogen peroxide plant. It's an organic peroxide. And this plant is kind of considered one of our cornerstone plants. This is the hydrogen cyanide plant. We use this production 100% within the facility. Most of this production is a raw material for the methionine plant, and we have some usage on the south side with the coatings and additives production unit. Of course, the pipelines carry utilities, treated water, instrument air through all the plants, and then there's returns back to some of the units and also to the environmental area for water treatment. This big plant to the right is the methionine plant. We've increased the capacity of it over the years.
What is methionine again?
Methionine is an amino acid that goes in poultry, swine, and cattle feed. It's called Quab. It's a small unit. It's about 16 employees here. They use this production in the paper industry to give paper a stronger bond. That's not a chemical engineering definition, but that'll get you close. It's where we package the final product. And then also a part of this process, and they're interrelated, is the sodium polysulfide. We call it MPS, and that's this facility here. And it's used in the SI69 process. This mound of rocks here is actually a mound covering our storage of propylene to keep it environmentally controlled and with the temperature. But we take you down here is one of the reasons that we're real proud of this is that we were the first producer of hydrogen peroxide to be certified by the Coast Guard to ship hydrogen peroxide by barge. The name of the hydrogen peroxide barge is the Rainbow's End. And this is the Acromion plant. Acromion is It's a raw material for the manufacture of methionine. So we use 100% of this production in the manufacture of methionine. When you eat chicken, you're eating chicken that's either has Evonik Degussa methionine or a competitor's methionine. All poultry growers use methionine in their feed stuff. So we're on the east side of the plant now, and this is just an eastern view of the methionine plant. This is the environmental treatment area, the water treatment area. This is where we treat all the effluent from the various plants at the site before it's released into the canal. Part of our water treatment technology is what we call a rock reed filter, and it's based on technology in conjunction with NASA technology.
This is just a very small laboratory. The main environmental laboratory is at another site. What we do at this particular facility is we monitor the discharge information zone, which is the area that we have determined we have an impact on in the Theodore Industrial Canal and in the community. And we monitor that area. We're out there, in fact, we're out there right now collecting water samples. We'll bring them back to that main laboratory I talked to you about, and we'll have the samples analyzed chemically and biologically to see if we're having any impact on the Theodore Industrial Canal. In addition to that, we also do bioassay testing in this laboratory. The two bioassay tests that we do here, one is with the sea urchin that you see over here. We take the eggs and sperm from the male and female sea urchins. We subject the sperm to our water at various dilutions and also to what's called a reference toxicant. And this is a reference toxicant. We get it from the EPA. And we have to meet a particular endpoint on this in order for the test on the water we're testing to be valid or not. As long as we hit the right endpoint with this, we know that the water that we're testing, we're getting the right endpoint on it as well.
The hydrogen peroxide tank farm area, that's where we store the peroxide before it's shipped. And we're back between the hydrogen peroxide plants now. This is the original one that was built in the 80s, mid-80s, and then a couple of years later, this is the second. We have different levels of emergency response certification. We do have EMTs, and then at the higher levels, they can be EMTs as well as a certain level of emergency response technician. And then the other thing that we have on site is we have an occupational nurse on site 24/7.